I finished 2 books. I read 13 Reasons Why, which the more I think about it, the more I hate it. I just, I don't know. I didn't like the character. And I don't want it to sound like I'm not being empathetic to the fact that she had a lot going on. Um, but I just couldn't do the fact that she made tapes basically blaming people for her suicide. I also finished reading Sherlock Holmes' second volume, complete stories and novels. Right now I'm reading The Bookman, which is my first steampunk ever. I have mixed feelings. Interestingly, a lot of the steampunk history is Sherlock. So, there's a Moriarty, there's a Mycroft, there's Irene Adler. It's an interesting tie-in. What I want to talk about today is what... That's my card. It's annoying. I'm getting a little bit tired of the fact that people don't seem to appreciate reading. I'm cool, because I was reading Sherlock, and, the way they spend their time is, reading books. And, it's very academic, and it's this is what we're doing. When did that become a nerdy thing? Why... When did we start not appreciating reading, which engages your brain? And when did we start celebrating watching TV? Which, by the way, the brain waves that are emitted while you're watching TV are the same brain waves that are emitted while you're sleeping. So you're literally not engaged. I'm not saying don't watch TV, because TV is great. I'm sure I just saw that Pokemon is now on Netflix. I wish I had Netflix. That'd be great. I'd love to catch up on some, classic 151st Pokemon. First generation. It'd be great. Hashtag 90s kid. I'm there. But I don't understand why reading is, nerdy and, not cool. And if you read, then people are like, oh, good for you. Example, if I'm reading in public instead of, or I bring a book someplace with me, people are like, oh my god, are you reading? Why do you have a book? But if I break out my phone and I'm starting to play some Angry Birds, that stupid number game that everyone's obsessed with right now, that's totally fine. Why? What shifted in our society that it's much more acceptable to be on your phone to be reading? Because I get a lot of crap for bringing a book with me. I bring a book everywhere. I go to the movies and I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to wait in line. I'm going to bring a book with me. And people are like, oh, why are you bringing a book? Well, why are you bringing your phone? Because you're going to be bored and you want something to do. But it's weird because I have a book. I think that what would be cool, though, is if people put down their cell phones. And I'm pretty attached to my phone. Look, it's right here. I like my phone. And I like, talking to people. And I like being social. But what's interesting is that, people seem to see you reading a book and see it and associate it with introversion. And they're like, oh, that person's checked out. And they, more so apparently than being on your phone, which makes you very not present. So I don't understand how that's different. But if you're reading a book, people are like, introvert. People can't be comfortable with introversion, evidently. And so they take that introvert and they drag them back by being like, you're being weird by reading in public. I don't feel like I'm being weird by reading in public. I don't think that's such a strange thing, but apparently bringing a book places is just really, really odd. But I encourage you to bring a book places. Life lesson for today. This is my rant. Introverts are good people. They're allowed to read in public. If that's what they choose to do, that's what they choose to do. I don't shit on you for your Angry Birds or your dumb number game. I don't shit on you for watching an entire series of a TV show in a weekend. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. And I support you. But don't be mean to introverts. Next time someone has a book and they're reading in public, don't stop them from reading. Just leave them alone. Because it's okay that they're reading in public. Be open to the fact that people like to read. And it's okay, and you don't have to yank them back into extroversion. Sometimes it's good to be quiet. Sometimes it's good to read. In fact, a lot of times it is. You live so many more adventures that way. So try it out. And stop giving me shit for reading in public. If you find me, chances are, about 90% of the time, I have a book on me. And I'm not afraid to hit you with it.